This episode of The Patch is brought to you by Hulu Plus. Watch your favorite shows anytime, anywhere with Hulu Plus. On your TV or on the go with your smartphone or tablet. Shows like Family Guy, Once Upon a Time, New Girl, Scandal, and more. Right now you can try Hulu Plus free for 2 weeks when you go to huluplus.com/patch. This episode of The Patch is sponsored by NatureBox. Order great tasting, healthy snacks right to your door. Forget the vending machine and get in shape for summer with healthy, delicious treats like everything bagel sticks. Support this podcast and get 50% off your first order. Go to naturebox.com/thepatch. Hey everyone, welcome to The Patch.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
This is Rooster Teeth's weekly gaming news podcast
I'm adjusting my hat
in live
It looks
video
like you're
form.
doing antlers.
I feel
This week, featuring Gus Sorola, no antlers.
Birdie the Moose.
Stagtly. I messed it up.
Doesn't even know.
And
know
Gus
her own name.
Sorola, the second moose. All right, lots of video game news to talk about. Well, first of all, I want to welcome everyone who's watching for the first time. This is live stream is open to everyone on the internet, on YouTube right now.
So in The Patch, we usually talk about gossip, the latest entertainment headlines, etc. That's
No,
what we usually talk
no,
about.
we talk about video games.
Video games.
We talk about video games for an hour.
So we're not going to
that's right.
evaluate who wore it better because I made a list, a big one.
How about who cares less? Because I'd be at the fucking top.
Who wore better, the dude from Watch Dogs or a warlock from a World of Warcraft trailer? He's got like this like thing. It's very Ubisoft when you, I don't know the name of the main character and I should by this
Aiden?
point.
Aiden?
Thank you. But instead of like with Edward Kenny or whatever the name of the guy in Assassin's Creed is.
Kenway.
I don't know, Kenway. I don't know his names today.
You've been playing this game for like 150 to 200 hours.
Have played
How do you
so
not
much
know his
Assassin's
name?
Creed.
Assassin's Creed 4 was like they made a big deal before it came out about like the sea shanties and stuff. That's stupid. Started playing the game. Anytime I see a sea shanty, I will chase the shit out of that.
And they're
I am so
super
happy.
frustrating too.
Yeah.
They're
It's
pain
like
in the
orbs
ass
and
to try and
Crackdown.
catch.
Can I give you a
You may.
view into one
up?
of our co-hosts' gaming habits? That is the point at which Ashley rage quit out of Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
The very first one.
Like 5 minutes into the game, she was just like, there's a thing in Assassin's Creed where I've always been fascinated by, and I know it's a game mechanic and they got to do what they got to do, but it's always funny to me when you mess up and you think like, what would it be if I was in real life and I went and messed up in that way? Like, oh, I wanted to walk to the door, but I did it wrong and I climbed up the wall to the second floor. It's like the mistakes you make in video games are not the mistakes you make in real life. You know? And watching her like, how do you play these open world Assassin's Creed style games? Because the parkour platform stuff must drive you insane. I'm talking to Gus.
Yeah, it does. But I do it for the sea shanties. I do not fast travel in my boat. I sail everywhere manually, and that's like so calming and
They
so
need a new
so
propaganda
nice.
poster. Do it for the sea shanties.
Do it for the shanties. Yeah.
So the Assassin's Creed 4, we'll get off because it's an older game. It's relevant, I think, to talk about it now that this is Watch Dogs week, essentially. But Assassin's Creed 4, I've been playing that a little bit late in the game than everyone else, but that's been the game I've been playing on the treadmill because it's one of those games you can play while walking at 2 or 3 miles an hour, and it doesn't require like twitch skills, which will make me walk off the side of the treadmill like a Halo game or a Call of Duty. I have booked 260 miles playing Assassin's Creed 4. It's by far, I now judge games like that, not by hours played, but by how far I walk playing them. That's like 10 marathons.
How many did you get out of Skyrim?
Skyrim, I didn't do it completely on the treadmill, but I got about 130. My previous highest was Fallout New Vegas, I think was at 145. And I'm like, just to benchmark this, I'm at like 98% synchronization on Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Wow.
I'm now down to the point where I got to sail around the world, get off the goddamn boat, and pick up all the chests and animus fragments everywhere.
Yeah.
So
that's frustrating.
It's a little frustrating. I'm just glad I didn't have to, at least I don't think so, I don't have to go into the real world parts of Assassin's Creed, which, by the way, don't make a lot of sense to me. But it's a whole part of the game that...
Say that a little bit quieter.
Well, I just...
I don't think people can not hear you.
Yeah, something about the real world stuff is just unnecessary. And it was so self-referential in this last title, with like Ubisoft is in the game.
Except that they did give themselves a really cool office space. Trust me, their studio does not look like that.
You don't have to collect. I guess it does. You don't need it for synchronization. The only thing I think you collect in the real world is like there's those like QR codes, right?
And you also have to hack computers.
Oh.
Yeah. With like those little hacking mini games, and it does tell
I
you.
hated that hacking mini
It does tell you you've got like 22 of 33 and stuff like that. But I'm not seeing any achievements, or I'm not seeing any synchronization goals that are tied to that. So I'm working on completion, and then Watch Dogs will be my next one.
Yeah.
So it's a good segue to talk about Watch Dogs.
I haven't had a chance to play a ton of Watch Dogs. I think I only played it for about an hour last night. But again, I'm going to brag about my super fast internet at home.
You're
going to brag about how quickly you were able to download it, are you?
And I was like, I need to go pee. Went and peed, came back, ready to play.
You get out of here.
By the time I pissed and came back, it was at 17%.
It took us like an hour, hour and a half maybe? Although I'm not convinced you started downloading it when you said you did because you were busy playing Assassin's Creed.
I was playing Assassin's Creed in the background while I downloaded, which could have affected my download time. Uplay, I hear, was having issues. So.
A lot of people were having troubles with it yesterday.
I think
it sounds like it's recovered.
Uplay was having issues. So it was
I'm
people
using
who were
excuse.
playing.
I don't think Uplay affected my download speed from Xbox
but
Live.
People who were playing
Probably
on the
not.
PC version were experiencing trouble, right? I believe that was the case, where people who were playing on the PC could not launch the game because there was delayed authentication on the Uplay service.
I read the same thing, and I kind of inferred from that
PC Master Race.
Well, that Uplay, does
How's
that
your
have like
Master
a
Race
dedicated console for does Microsoft run the Xbox version of Uplay? Because I always thought it was a layer that the developers put in, like Uplay and Origin and those kinds of things, that would kind of piss off Microsoft and Xbox and PlayStation.
I think on consoles it's not a gatekeeper for authentication and for verification like it is on the PC.
So if it goes down, you just go through and play the game anyway.
Right.
Okay.
I think like on the console, it's more of an independent achievement tracking, and you get the Uplay coins and stuff like that.
Yeah, like there's features that might be missing or stuff it might not track if you're not logged into Uplay, but it knows that you've legit got the game.
It knows you play.
Oh, Nice. That was a good one. Thank
you.
The awkward pause was just us stunned in appreciation at that pun. One of the things that made me happy, Jack Patillo is here off screen. To my right.
Jack.
Hey, Jack. So one of the great benchmarks of progressing in Assassin's Creed 4 was actually beating Jack on the leaderboards, because I know Jack plays hell out of Assassin's Creed.
And there goes Jack running home to play more Assassin's Creed.
That's kind of his game. He loves that series. Whenever I always associate certain games with certain people, and definitely Assassin's Creed when I think of that game.
But really specifically Assassin's Creed 2. He likes that Ezio character.
Revelations?
Yeah. Well, all of them.
I think Revelations is his favorite game.
Revelations, Brotherhood, right? That's the trilogy of 2.
Mm-hmm.
the three Assassin's Creed games that aren't 1, 3, and 4, basically. Basically the way that boils down. So, and they even in Assassin's Creed 4, they hinted at a lot of stuff for what's coming with all these different other ancestors, hinted at different eras. Yeah. I wonder if the Assassin's Creed team was planting all that stuff, knowing that the Watch Dogs team is working.
They also had, I think, post credits in AC4 once you finish the campaign. Spoiler. I won't spoil it. They had hints, or they told you specifically how some of those characters related to characters in other games.
Yeah, and there was a character in the game that was actually kind of aware of that.
Right.
Which one? I didn't play 3. I didn't play the American one, oddly. But yeah. So anyway, we're talking a lot about Assassin's Creed, but it was a preface to talking about Watch Dogs.
Well, it was actually nice that you were playing Assassin's Creed immediately before Watch Dogs, because it made them a little bit easier to compare. The way that I've thought about it through the marketing, through this whole pre-release thing, is Watch Dogs is like Assassin's Creed, except in the past, it's in the future.
And
instead of that's how I've been thinking of it. But it's actually it's got some cool stuff like daisy chaining cameras.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
It's interesting.
Just I have to find a camera, I have to get line of sight to another camera, and then I can daisy chain through to that one and see that instead. You could go through an entire level just peeking through cameras. It's really cool.
But the hacking stuff that's in these Ubi games is funny, because it's look at the camera, then hack that camera through a camera, then look at that, then hack a console just by looking at it through a camera that you've already hacked.
That's how hacking works. You don't know.
I get that it's the future. I get that. But when you had the ready to play, I would guess as fast as your internet is at home.
It's pretty fast.
That even when you had the ready to play, by the time you reach the portion of the game that had not downloaded, you probably had downloaded it by then.
Do you even know what that portion of the game was?
No.
It stopped us because we played through the first level up until you first used the blackout.
Yeah.
And then about that point, it said, "Oh, we're still installing the game."
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, go away and come back.
It's please pause. But that said, it was a much better integration, I think, of the play as you download than Plants vs. Zombies was, because that was just confusing. This was actually starting the game, playing through, getting familiar with a bunch of the stuff.
What happened with Plants vs. Zombies?
It's you could start playing the game.
Is this Garden Warfare? Or
Garden Warfare. And you could pick a character, but then you end up in a sandbox with no instruction,
you're just in
no information. You're just there, and you're wandering around, and then some guys might try and come and kill you, but not always. It was really weird.
You're basically in a front lawn, and you can pick one of the plants, and you play as that plant in FPS mode, and you're just shooting zombies as they come close. I think we were playing as the what's the spitter plant? It's
the
not
pea
a
shooter.
Yeah, it's not a franchise that I was like dying to play. It never really grabbed hold of me the way stuff like Peggle did. But we played that, and honestly, that pre-mini game, it had no explanation, had no tutorial, nothing. It's just like you're just wandering and shooting, and you kind of figure it out by trial and error. By the time the game finished downloading, I was like, I don't want to play this. That was not a good experience for me.
You don't want to hear that.
No, you don't want to hear that.
I mean, it seems like they have different approaches. Maybe I like the idea with Watch Dogs that you get to start playing the actual game, and then you just have to wait.
No,
it seems like for maybe Plants vs. Zombies, you should have been able to play one level in multiplayer or something, as opposed to a watered down non-tutorial.
Yeah, instead it was kind of a poor introductory experience to the game, which is, I mean, the game is itself, everyone says it's really amazing, but when I think of it, I think of that and I just get frustrated all over again.
It was that was a surprising game for me. I wasn't expecting to like it, but I had a lot of fun playing it. Yeah,
everyone says it's really fantastic. I mean, especially for what it is. Did they announce that they were adding microtransactions yet?
Yeah, they announced that a couple weeks ago.
And what will those microtransactions entail?
You're going to be able to purchase the booster packs. So I believe you cannot purchase individual upgrades. You can just purchase packs that then have random upgrade cards in them.
Okay.
Although I think you can also buy ones that are guaranteed to have like one of this kind of thing.
Yeah, there's different tiers of quality of packs where it's like there's cheaper ones that obviously cost less and then have no rare cards, all the way up to one that's guaranteed to have like 3 rare cards or ultra rare cards in it. And you pay more in-game currency for those, and I assume the microtransactions follow the same scale.
It's funny because
they also announced that they're adding Battlefield microtransactions to Battlefield 4.
Is it like a developer with a tin cup asking for money to help finish the game?
Maybe.
Our Kickstarter is starting very soon. I just want to point that out. But no, it's one of those things. We always knew microtransactions were coming, and it's like when they first started adding storage on consoles and the ability to access the net and download things, there were those people going, well, now they're just going to patch games day one, and they're going to have all this stuff they patch and download, and console games will be incomplete. We're like, don't worry about it. But sure enough, I mean, that's exactly what takes place.
Yeah.
And people who were like screaming about horse armor back from Oblivion.
Up?
Did you have the horse armor?
Yeah. You're kidding? How cool could I make my horse look? It was awesome. I know everyone complained about it, and I was part of the problem because I paid what was like $5 just to be like, yeah, my horse looks cool. But at the same time, I'm not sorry because my horse looks so cool.
I gotta say, I was kind of poking fun at Uplay a little bit earlier, but the fact that when I first logged into Assassin's Creed, back to Assassin's Creed, when I first logged into it and it knew that I had finished the other games in the franchise and gave me outfits based on that, I mean, it's like, I felt pretty good about that. I know they can still do that probably with the achievement system on the Xbox and probably with the trophy system on PS4 or a save system. But it was nice that Uplay had that and remembered it, because you and I have both had problems. The Walking Dead for you, Mass Effect for me.
Yeah.
I would argue that Mass Effect was a bigger detriment losing my save.
Way worse. Well, where you either lose a save or it's on a different storage device that you don't have plugged in, or who knows, right? Whatever reason, it's not on the same save device that you're playing at that moment.
You know what it was for me? It was between Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3 that they unveiled the cloud save system on Xbox, which is what I was playing on. And I didn't transfer that from my USB stick to the cloud right away, and I just lost that USB stick after a while. And I didn't realize it until a year and a half later when Mass Effect 3 launched, and there go all my choices. So
go back and redo it. It's only a quick 30 or 40 hour side journey.
Basically,
30 or 40 if you want to do it properly.
No, speed run. He already did everything. Just speed run for the decisions.
But yeah, my decisions were gone. So basically what I'm saying is that I had the experience at the beginning of Mass Effect 3 that the rest of you had at the end of Mass Effect 3, where my decisions became irrelevant.
Jeez.
Fucking sick burn.
Fucking sick 2-year-old burn there. Let's get a little more topical, a little more newsy, a little more headline.
Stop it with the Assassin's Creed.
Headline worthy.
So it's Assassin's Creed 2.
So this week, Ubisoft about Assassin's Creed mentioned that. So I think the big news this week they was talking about is Nintendo and their new policy with monetization on the YouTube platform.
I think that's relevant to us. I think the Battlefield thing's bigger, but let's go ahead and talk about Nintendo. Yeah.
I think it's relevant to a lot of people. I think they've announced. It's weird. I don't think they released a press release. They made 2 tweets about it
from their Japanese Twitter account.
Right, saying that they were
people had to
start
then translate
an affiliate program that people could join if they wanted to monetize videos on YouTube, which involved splitting income or revenue with Nintendo.
Yes. And so, and I mean, in looking at that, it's one of those things where I don't know what else Nintendo can do this year to further distance themselves from basically the American market. I don't know how prevalent live streaming and Let's Play culture is in Asia, but I assume it's pretty big.
Well, I mean, Sony is also a Japanese company, and they're very much embracing the streaming and the Let's Play stuff. I mean, they just disabled HTTP specifically for content creators. They were the first console to have their Twitch integration up and running, and they've been pushing that really hard. And they are also partnered with Ustream. Mm-hmm. So
Ustream and Twitch both, I believe.
Yeah. So they are an example of a Japanese company who is embracing that. Nintendo is just. They seem to be looking at it very, very differently. Nintendo is looking at it as the value in their videos is because it's a Nintendo product, as opposed to it's what you do with it.
Well, plus also Nintendo's been losing money for years now, right? Maybe they need the extra income to help that bottom line, pad it out.
But come on, I mean, it's one of those things where, I mean, Nintendo, I in a way, it's like, it seems so backwards, but in some sense, I almost admire them for sticking to their guns, whether they're right or wrong. I mean, they're towing the hard line with some of this stuff. But Nintendo seems to make so much progress by having people buying the hardware, like the DS and the Wii, and the Wii U. It's such unique hardware that if they're don't have the market share they want, why would they do anything that limits exposure to their games? You're not going to get. You don't have Nintendo titles even on PC. You don't have those ports.
Right.
And it's like, just thinking about that is just, why would they do anything to limit it? Because ultimately, I don't know if you agree with me, ultimately it seems like anything they put in place now is just going to make people not feature their games in any kind of online content.
No, I agree with that.
And it's not even because this rule in particular is something that they don't agree with. As a company who does this kind of thing, as a departments that do it, is like, we just don't know what they're going to do next. Mm-hmm. And they can make 9 months from now, they could decide, we're going to do X. And then it's like, the entire thing that we worked on for all of 2013 now is under a different set of rules. And it's just like, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
Well, and not only that, but remember there's a thing back in December when they changed, I mean, I think it was specifically YouTube changed the way they were scanning for things, but then a whole bunch of videos that had been up for however long got flagged all of a sudden. All these channels ended up in trouble.
This
Nintendo
podcast
could easily
was affected
do that.
by that.
Yeah.
I mean, because we have, there's a video version of this ends up on YouTube. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh.
Go.
I was going to enjoy my drink of coffee.
Go. It's pretty good.
So they ended up flagging a bunch of videos that had been up previously. Now, if Nintendo were to change their policy, they could easily flag videos that had been up for however long and say these no longer comply with our current policy. Therefore, your channel just got a whole bunch of copyright strikes, and it's been taken down automatically. It's
a very unique problem to new media. You can't someone couldn't make a change for something that was broadcasted on TV. Somebody can't make a change to the way that's handled, and then it affects all the previous times it was also shown on TV.
Or anytime it comes up on reruns.
Right. Well, I mean, going forward, they technically could if something expires, but yeah, they can't if a deal exists in place already. Nope, new media doesn't have that. Things change on the fly.
It's true. It's interesting. I'm curious to see how Nintendo of America issues the press release and how they handle it moving forward.
They've had such a miserable year. I mean, it's one of those things. Does it go back to the old thing where they think that they're not getting sales because people are watching other people play the game? Is that what they think?
I think that's probably what it is. That
Remember, they're the ones who've been really, really concerned about people getting spoiled. They're like, we don't want you to do anything with this because you can post this, but you can't include cutscenes, or you can do this, but you can't include this, or this level.
They might also be concerned about the family friendliness of the language involved with a Let's Play, like people looking up Mario or whatever, or Luigi. It might be they might think it's little kids who then get exposed to language it shouldn't be. It might be like an age ratings thing as well.
I mean, it's one thing you have to say about the online culture is that the ratings for content don't apply to the ratings for any kind of fair use content after that. You know what I mean? It's like it's not. There's no pass-through for that kind of thing. So, I mean, in that sense, it does make a little bit of sense. That being said, my kids, I try to limit their time as much as possible. My youngest kid plays a game called Roblox. And have you heard of Roblox?
Mm-mm.
It's almost like a constant online multiplayer Minecraft where people make levels, but it's a bunch
of mini games, and there'll be this right now he's playing cops and robbers, and he has to do this and he has to do this, but if he does this, then he does this thing, or he can sponsor the server, and then he gets to do this. It's this insanely complicated game that I had never heard of, but it's huge.
And it's been around a long time. Gavin used to play it when he was a kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, he used to play it when he was younger, at least a teenager. And,
So like 3 years ago.
Teddy's been playing it for like 5 years.
Yeah, he's been playing it for a long time. He goes back to this game all the time. But let me see. It was release date 2005.
Wow.
So Gavin played with it about the same time that he first was watching Red versus Blue when we first met him, basically. So he was about 15. But when he's not playing the game, he'll also watch Let's Plays based on it on YouTube. And it's up to me as a parent to make sure that he's watching the correct thing, and he has a family that he watches and they play things. What's the name of the family that he watches? That we were just talking about it the other day.
Oh, yeah. And we were discussing, it's like Bear something Bear.
Yeah.
Bear
something bear. That's a weird name.
It's like the Bear family. Okay. Something.
It was actually like these really cool videos he watches. It's a family. It's a husband and wife and his 2 boys, and they play games together.
Bear Ghost.
There we go, Bear Ghost.
Bear Ghost.
We were arguing about how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Yeah, we were, because he was telling us it was pronounced Bear Ghost, like the ghost of a bear, and he goes, "Oh, it's like the Bear Ghost family." I'll look it up. We'll put it in the link dump.
Okay.
Because my kid's a big fan, and it's a family that plays together. And that's
a cool
great.
idea.
Yeah, let's do it. It's like a mom and dad and 2 kids playing together, and it's great, and he really likes that a lot, and so I feel like that's my responsibility as a parent to make sure that stuff is appropriate.
No, I agree with you.
I mean, Nintendo's not going to sit in your living room when you're playing Mario Party and fucking cursing at each other.
They would rather not sit in the living room with me while I'm playing Mario Party.
I really don't think Nintendo should sit in the room with anyone while they're playing Mario Party if they want them to think it's a fun thing for family and friends to do together.
It's the destroyer of friendships.
Let's be clear. The first 95% of any Mario Party game is great. It's that last 5% when we call the bullshit round.
Yeah, everything goes bullshit at the end.
I've never.
All the stars get shuffled. Who knows what happens? In the first 95%, you have to build an insurmountable lead where you just crush everyone. To
You
the point
literally
where
have to have a
they
galaxy
cannot
of
catch up.
stars.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just like, the only way Nintendo could take that any further is that they perfect some kind of like brain swapping technology where it's like, oh, Gus, you won, but now we're putting your brain in Esther's body. So you can't enjoy your victory for more than a second, basically, before you're a different person.
Here, let me read this thing here. I want to remind everyone this episode of The Patch is brought to you by Hulu Plus. You've probably tried Hulu on your computer. Hulu Plus is so much more. With Hulu Plus, you can watch current season episodes of your favorite shows like Modern Family, The Daily Show, and Scandal. Watch every episode of shows like Nashville, Lost, and Doctor Who. You get ad-free movies and kids shows too. Now more than ever, there's so much to watch. Take control with Hulu Plus to stream these shows and thousands more as much as you want, whenever you want. Hulu Plus works on your computer, smart TV, Roku, Apple TV, Xbox, PlayStation, pretty much any streaming device you already own. You can even watch on your phone, iPad, while on the train, at work, at the dentist, in the bathroom. We won't judge you. You can even block off a whole day to binge. You'll get access to originals you can't get anywhere else. Check out their new show, Deadbeat, a comedy about a pot-smoking guy who talks to ghosts. Binge on all 10 episodes now. For only $7.99 a month, get your shows anytime, anywhere. It's like $0.25 a day. Right now, sign up at huluplus.com/patch. Get 2 weeks, full access, completely free. It's a whole extra week more with this special offer when you sign up at huluplus.com/patch. Get with it. Start streaming TV now with Hulu Plus. Thank you to Hulu Plus for supporting this podcast.
Thanks, Hulu Plus.
You know, it's really hard for us to mess with your ad read when all of the toys are now on the front.
Oh yeah, now we have this.
Up here we got
little
this.
thing.
We got these cool shelves that have all our game stuff on them.
When I was trying to find stuff to put on their shelves, I realized how dark colored every video game accessory is. Like consoles and controllers are normally black, and I was like, I can't put them on there; they won't show up.
It's
just
like
not
a million
light.
different kinds.
You could put a white
controllers.
Wii up there.
I could. I couldn't find a Wii nunchuck, or otherwise I would have put one on there.
I think there's only one current custom controller for next gen consoles. Like the Xbox One has a Titanfall one.
Yeah, that one's
and
cool.
I think I heard that in the UK, Sony was doing a promotion where you could take your PS4 controller and they would do a custom paint job on it for the World Cup.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were going to set up kiosks around the UK. Where
Yeah.
you just take your PS4 controller and they do a custom paint job.
PS4 controller's dope. I love it. I love it.
I think people have not tapped into that touchpad. No
I
one
agree.
really knows how to use it yet. I haven't found a game where I'm like, okay, this makes sense.
Right. But it's nice to have it sitting there waiting to be used, and someone will discover a use for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the Wii U tablet, remember we first got it, and there was that game Zombie U that came with it where you could hold it up, and it was almost like an AR thing where you could scan around the room, and that was part of the mechanic in the game where you'd scan the room looking for items.
Well, and that's probably going to be what they do for Fatal Frame as well. For the new Fatal Frame game, that's probably how you'll take
For
pictures.
Wii U?
Yeah.
How excited are you?
I'm excited.
It's okay to be excited.
I'm excited. I'll admit it. I love the Fatal Frame series.
Yeah, you and Jeff are both nuts. You guys were nuts for that. It hasn't been a new one of that for a long time.
I think the last time I played a Fatal Frame game was probably like 12 years ago, maybe, like in late 02.
Because I think the last one didn't even come out here.
I
outside Japan.
I believe you are correct.
Can I tell you that's one of the biggest things I miss that's gone away from the Dead Rising franchise is the taking pictures of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just really liked it's something about taking pictures.
Well,
Nice.
it was fun. Like
That's what the guy said, right?
Clink. Yeah. I was a little creepy when you had to take sexy photos of zombies.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was very weird.
That really, and that part had very poor replayability when I replayed it all 800 times. But what was I going to say? We were talking. So this thing when you were doing this with the AR, when you're holding up the Wii U tablet and scanning around the room, if you're listening at home, you would just like rotate around the room and look at your Wii pad, and it would know where you were. That was really, really awesome. Literally the first time I did it, and after that I realized, I can just use the stick and do it the same thing. I'm going to use the stick and do it. It's motion controls I think are like that in general. The people who did it best are still Nintendo on the original Wii. It's like if I had a choice of doing the bowling mechanic or playing bowling, I probably would have done the mechanic. Sometimes I did it while sitting on the couch like this, but at the same time, it was like that implementation was really good, and I don't know that anybody's really done it as well since.
I got really sore elbows from Wii boxing.
You played Wii boxing?
Yeah, I did.
Like more than one time?
Enough to get sore elbows.
Wii boxing was the most bullshit one out of them.
No, I think the fencing one was when you get the one
I didn't
controller.
do fencing.
Where you're up on the platform over the water.
No, I don't remember that.
For me, it's bowling and golf. I think were the ones I played the most.
I think that was in Wii Sports Resort.
Yeah, never played it.
Yeah. See, I'm real well versed in all the video games. That's
why. Bethesda released a trailer for a new game I guess they're working on called Battle Cry.
Yeah.
Is it Battle Cry?
Yes.
Yeah, Battle Cry.
I guess we should have talked about this during the microtransaction segment of the patch because it's going to be a free-to-play game.
Oh, is it? I didn't read that.
Yep, it's going to be free to play, and then I think it's going to be kind of like Team Fortress 2 in that it's free to play, and you can buy skins and hats and horse armor.
So the frustrating thing about this trailer, the trailer's great. Right?
Everyone who has microtransactions should put horse armor in it, even if there's no horses in the game. They should have horse armor.
When I was at Microsoft, one of the April Fool's jokes that we did was we doubled the price of horse armor for one day.
Really?
Yeah.
April Fools.
And it was just like we thought everyone loves horse armor so much we wanted to offer you a great deal, so we doubled the price. It's just one day. It was a lot of fun.
Jerks.
I bet it sold more.
I think it did.
Yeah, people react to price. So this
Battle Cry trailer, it's
Cry.
computer generated, obviously not in-game stuff, which is kind of frustrating, but it sets the mood, I guess.
Brutal. That was brutal.
Also, the other thing was, it's a trailer that announces the beta starts next year.
Yeah, but with free-to-play games like that, the beta is as good as launching it.
I guess.
I mean, it's like some early access games where the only difference between now it's in beta and now it's launched is someone going,
okay, now it's
like, we're going to cross out the 0.9 and make it 1.0,
but why not
and now
just
it's
say
done.
2015?
Even though...
Why not just say 2015?
I don't know.
It was a cool trailer. I really enjoyed
really cool
it.
Trailer.
I liked it.
I like the look. I like that it's a little bit cyberpunky, but it's not over the top. Or it's not cyberpunk, sorry, steampunky, but it's not over the top steampunky.
It seems, if I recall, the premise is that it's a world where after the last World War, that all gunpowder was outlawed. So now all fights are settled in these designated like war zones, which I guess are like the maps for the game. And you have these weapons like the swords and that gauntlet where you bash people's head in, and I guess like the sword could also be used as a shield.
Yeah, and there's like archery and there's cloaking devices.
And robot hand dudes from what I was seeing right there.
Yeah. Cool robot hand dude, right?
I'm excited.
It's good for smashing skulls.
There's 5 classes, and then there's multiple factions within the classes.
2 factions, I believe.
Well, they've announced 2.
There's the Cossacks and the New Republic.
Okay, so I definitely saw a nice Russian theme there.
Yeah.
The guy was bald with a big mustache. He's either a Russian or a hipster. And he had the robot arms. So it was like rock'em sock'em hipster.
And he was hanging out with a bear.
I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, but those different factions apparently tweak the class a little bit. Like for the tech archer class, in one it's got a longbow, and another one it's got a pair of crossbows.
Oh,
which
okay.
I really want because I want to be like, and like shoot you guys in the neck like with my crossbows. Except then the problem is I want to be able to go and reload with new arrows and go ha ha.
I wonder if anybody like in the history of medieval warfare ever went like whenever they pulled out their crossbows. If I was a knight, I would totally do that. I'd go shing. Did you know that Ewan McGregor on the set of Star Wars, when they were filming The Phantom Menace for the first time, they had to stop the lightsaber battle several times because he kept making the noises. And they said, and he apparently said in an interview that, he couldn't help himself and that he didn't even know he was doing it.
Wow.
He was making lightsaber noises while fighting.
I'd love to see that footage. There should be like an alternate audio track that you can play on the DVD. It's like Ewan McGregor doing the noises for
All
you.
human sound effects.
They could just take the next Star Wars game, Battlefront, whatever it is, and put his voice in place of the effects as an Easter egg.
Yeah.
I would totally go hunting for that.
Little off topic for the patch, but Clayton, who works for us and does sound design for us, at the beginning of the patch, we have the Wilhelm scream in the opening.
Yeah.
Did you add that? Who added that?
I didn't.
I never knew who added that.
I think it was Brandon, actually.
We removed it at one point, and people got very upset that we removed the Wilhelm scream from the patch.
So it's back.
So it is back. And Clayton played for me the original recording of the Wilhelm scream, which I was like, well, I've heard it before. We're all hearing the same recording. But it was actually the director directing the guy. And he did a couple different screams, and you hear the director like, no, try like this, now try like this. And then all of a sudden he does the Wilhelm scream in the middle of it. And the director like, yeah, but I guess that's going to be good now. And then you can hear the thing because it's audio tape, it like winding down when they cut. And it's like, it was so surreal to hear something that I hear like that all the time that's so iconic, and then hear the context in which it actually took place.
Right.
It's weird. Like, I'd always like to go back and see what was the post on the internet that started a meme, like that kind of thing. I know they're just like kind of forcefully generated now by people, but back in the day, it was like something just kind of like caught people's attention and just took off. And it's always fun to like see like how it started in
like
context.
Icon has cheeseburger or something, right?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Like somebody did that, you know? I think it's funny now when you see like the photos of like the success kid and now grown up and stuff like that. Like people are like recognizing the importance of being a meme and trying to like kind of cash in and out.
Is there anything like that for video games? Like, is there anything that's become a trend that's like just gets reused constantly in all kinds of games? Like
Help
a throwback, like the Wilhelm scream.
Dude, there is a sound effect of like a door opening that's in StarCraft. I hear it everywhere, and I would try to imitate it, but it's just like a pneumatic sound effect. I fucking hear it everywhere. And also there was that, I think it was also in StarCraft, the like that yell, and I don't know if they sampled it or what, but I hear this yell all the time in different stuff.
There's a
like a battle cry kind of yell.
Yeah, there's totally off topic. There's a Jimmy John's commercial where I swear they ripped off like a Homer Simpson woohoo. But yeah, it's weird how you notice and rehear sounds like that all over the place. But I can't think of a recurring theme video game wise where something like that happens.
Yeah. I mean, they've got to happen just quietly at the very least. I remember before he left Bungie, Marty O'Donnell he'd said that they were going to redo all of their Foley from scratch to make sure that Destiny had a fresh sound.
Wow. Okay. That's
so which you know, they've got to have, if they don't do that, they've got to have a library, and I wonder how many game developers share that library of sounds so that like the floorboard creak is the floorboard creak in this game and this game and this game and this game, and we just don't know it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I learned too, was talking to some audio engineers, sound guys, is that you can't copyright a sound library like Foley work.
Really?
Apparently that's not something that can be copyrighted, that you can just sample that stuff and use it. But it's a weird, like very strictly followed professional courtesy that you just don't do that stuff.
Yeah, that's weird.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would have thought totally that if like a sound from one thing ended up in something else, like if the lightsaber or TIE fighter sound ended up in something that would be actionable.
We can take all of the sound from Nintendo games and upload them to YouTube without issue.
Yeah,
As long as it's not music, bro.
Oh, true.
maybe we'll talk to Clayton on the RT podcast sometime. Put him on the sidecar.
Yeah, we'll have to do some more research.
Mind
on
if
that.
I loop back around and talk about a couple things? Follow up.
Please do.
First of all, the name of that family is the Beregost family. Beregost. Bere Ghost family, and they do a Roblox Let's Play. If you want to know what Roblox is, you can go check that channel. And I also want to point out, since we talked about beta for the upcoming Battlecry game, I just want to point out that Firefall is still in beta. Open right now on their.
Didn't they say that it's basically never coming out of beta though?
Open beta is live, play for free now. Yeah.
But I thought I remember them saying something like it's just not going to get finished. There was the big executive upheaval, and then they just went, well, I guess this is never coming out.
It's just the game I love to point to as a classic example of a game, like, it's been in beta since 2005. And it's like,
it hasn't been that long, has it?
Sorry. I got mixed up from what I was saying.
I think 09,
I'm so sorry. I said 2005 based on the Roblox thing. No, sorry, I looked it up just now. It's been in beta since 2011. Okay. That's when it came out in beta for the first time.
Slightly different.
That's its release date, parentheses beta. Yeah, not 2005. That was
that'd be
total
ridiculous.
misspeak. I apologize.
So in other video game news that's topical. I guess the trailer for Battlefield Hardline got leaked.
Well, first
Leaked?
of all, Battlefield Hardline got leaked.
Battlefield, yes. How frustrating is that to be developing, working on a game, knowing like, okay, E3 is just a couple weeks away, we're finally be able to talk about it, and then the whole game gets fucking leaked. It got leaked because of commented out stuff on their website, correct?
Yeah, like
assets
almost
that were
like
on there?
they're preparing the website so that the E3 they have this big reveal. They go, by the way, here's Battlefield Hardline, here's a trailer, and then someone goes boop and flips a switch on the website, and then suddenly there's a Battlefield Hardline website.
Right.
So I mean, they have to prep that stuff in advance, and I don't think a lot of people understand just how much that takes from the back end.
Yeah.
So these guys are going through and they found everything.
Yeah.
They found like the guns, they found the team names, they found the classes, they found
Game modes and
the
stuff.
game modes.
Yeah.
They,
Cover
well,
art.
not all of them, but yeah, they found the logo. They found out that Visceral was going to be involved because they were the only logo that they could find and all this stuff. So EA just went, fine, fuck it.
Yeah.
And went ahead and announced it. Really similar, actually, to how Assassin's Creed Unity got announced because screenshots got out there and Ubisoft went, well, I guess it's better for us to take control of the story now than, later. But one thing that really interests me is the number of people who assume that leaks are conspiracies.
I'm
of
just
the
waiting to
developers.
start talking about it. I'm one of those people that thinks I would have a conspiracy theory about this one.
Really?
That could potentially be an intentional one.
I really don't think so.
You're
This
telling me
close
that
to E3.
Battlefield.
This was going to be one of their big reveals. They've been teasing their Frostbite 3 engine game. It's gonna be
Yeah.
this whole big deal. Why would they? I mean, this basically fizzles out their E3
The
presentation.
Unity one, I'd be with you. I could see that one being
This
conspiracy
is
theory-ish.
just too close.
I want to point this out. Not the proximity to E3 that's relevant to this discussion, but the proximity to the Watch Dogs release date. Is that Battlefield is shifting and becoming an urban battlefield. Like, it looks like it's a cops and robbers style thing, or like some kind of, I don't think it's like a private military force or something like that.
Right.
But I think it seems like it's like cops and robbers. Some of the names, some of the game types in there indicate it's like
and
a competitor to maybe something like GTA.
Yeah, I watched the trailer and it reminded me a lot of Payday 2 in some of the modes.
And I just think like Watch Dogs being like the urban version of Assassin's Creed, essentially. Is it that far-fetched to think that like, why don't we like undercut some of the traffic from Watch Dogs?
But then they could have just announced it. They didn't have to leak it.
It's got
Like,
the,
kind
it's
of
got the
there was,
hacker vibe though.
Yeah. Someone who got their phone and looked at a camera and then they pressed X and then they got the information.
I also want to point out something really ridiculous in this process is that the information about it was leaked, and then somebody, Ashley, you were saying somebody said, well, since this information is out there, we have a trailer that's under embargo, but screw it, it's now public information. Here's the trailer, and we're breaking embargo.
Yes, some YouTuber did that.
Yeah,
YouTuber
I don't think that
Yeah.
that trailer was a final because
Someone's,
I watched it and instead of saying Hardline, it referred to the game by a code name. It referred to it as Omaha.
Omaha is the campaign or something in it, or something weird like that. Anyway, someone on Twitter, Hacken Akinci, is telling us that the trailer was meant for internal use and it's 6 months old.
6 months old.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I thought it was funny too because you guys were saying that this person broke embargo to put the trailer online, and that other people, other news organizations, were then embedding the unembargoed trailer, but not posting their own version of the trailer, not breaking their own embargo. That is total splitting hairs for people. It's like is that where we are right now with digital media? Is that I'm not breaking my embargo, I'm just embedding as a playable resource on my website somebody else who broke the embargo and posted their trailer.
That's true, but what they're not doing is going so far as to
Is that what you were trying to do?
Yes, this is what I was trying to do. I
Short arms.
almost tipped my chair over trying to pick this up. What they're not doing is they're not posting their information yet. They're saying this guy did this, but it actually tells me the embargo must still be pretty strong for them to have not posted their own version. Because
But they
it
just don't
means-
want to take it down.
Well, because they don't want to take it down, but also because like they're giving up essentially any sort of pre-roll ad revenue that they would have generated, and because it's not worth the risk.
Gotcha.
But otherwise that would have been a financial consideration for them. Imagine, a lot of the big news sites, how many views they could have generated by putting their own version of that trailer up and making all the money instead of giving it to this guy who broke embargo.
When we do this this podcast, we do a lot of video insertion when we're talking about stuff. And I made sure to specifically ask the control room, do not insert any of this video because I don't want it to get content ID'd match and have the podcast taken off of YouTube because we play a little bit of that trailer.
Yeah, good call.
Which is being taken down, I think, pretty consistently anytime it's put up.
Yeah, but if you do manage to see it, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I watched it this morning in preparation for the podcast today.
Reminding me of Assassin's Creed 4.
Here, let me read this other thing
I
here.
have to bring it around again.
Remind everyone, this episode of The Patch is also brought to you by NatureBox. Your mission is to snack smarter and get in shape by summer. Your enemy, the vending machine. But when you're starving at 3 p.m., all cranky and lightheaded, the evil vending machine can seem like your only friend. Don't give in. Head over to naturebox.com. NatureBox sends great tasting snacks right to your door, and they're great for you too. We're talking healthy snacks like barbecue kettle kernels, everything bagel sticks, South Pacific plantain chips, and over 100 more. Zero trans fats, zero high fructose corn syrup, nothing artificial, even snacks that are gluten conscious and non-GMO. With free shipping anywhere in the U.S., NatureBox is busting up the vending machine's monopoly on your midday hunger. Try NatureBox right now. Get 50% off your first box by going to naturebox.com/thepatch. That's naturebox.com/thepatch. Stay full, stay strong. Go to naturebox.com/thepatch. That's naturebox.com/thepatch. Since we moved offices, I'd been missing my nature boxes, but we finally got them back.
We had a prop nature box for a little while,
We
which
did,
was the
yeah.
bags and all that stuff. And I was like, we need more fresh nature box.
Cherry vanilla granola.
They've
This one tastes
they've
like
mixed it up, and they've mixed it up good.
this is like crunch berries without like without the mouth cuts that come associated with crunch berries.
What is that? When like cereal just tears your mouth up.
Fucking terrible.
It's probably because when we were kids, we ate like 4 bowls in a row.
Yeah,
I
just
would do
like
this-
shoveling it in your mouth.
First of all, I pour half the box of cereal in, then dump in the milk, and then you eat it. You're like, well,
I've still got some milk left.
still
Better put some more cereal in.
gotta balance this out. And then that process never ends. Heavy hitters in this box: cherry vanilla granola and the coffee kettle corn.
Coffee kettle popcorn. It's a different different bag. It's not like the other ones.
What do you mean?
The coffee kettle popcorn. It's not.
Yeah, you're right. It's like a.
You're always so fascinated by the packaging.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you noticed they added like these orange stripes on it.
No, I hadn't noticed that. I was too busy shoveling all the food in my
Wow,
face
Gus.
earlier. If you always get, I want to say, this is making a huge sacrifice right now. People
We're-
always get mad at us for eating on microphone, so I'm not going to be eating any of this.
We
Even
ate-
though I really want to.
We ate before the patch, and we'll eat again as soon as the credits start rolling. As soon as the credits start rolling, fuck it, we're tearing that thing open. Steam machines. Possibly delay till 2015.
Well, the controller is definitely delayed. The machines.
The boxes could still come out without a controller?
Well, it's
Question
like,
mark?
well, it's like this. They're Linux-based computers, so
good
they
point.
could.
I guess of the controller.
They could, but at the same
We're
time,
shipping
that's
computers, but
supposed
not
to be.
mice.
But that's what's supposed to set it apart. So,
Right,
like,
but
why bother?
Alienware said that they're going to, previously before this, had said that they're going to be shipping their Steam machine like in September.
Right. So they might be like, if I was
Like, in
making
addition
a
to a
Steam
soft-
machine, I would absolutely delay it. But I could also see some going, no, I think we'll just go. This
It's
way,
like-
we're the first one on the market,
It's like,
and then
now it's like a hardware patch in addition to a software patch. Like, you'll get this, and then 6 months down the road, we'll patch it with a new controller.
yeah. In the meantime, just use this Xbox controller.
Use the keyboard and mouse that you've been using for years
Right.
playing PC games. So weird to me.
Except you can't play the PC games because it's Linux.
Well, yeah. They'll have games for it, right? It's
Yeah.
part of their plan.
They'll have some games for it. I mean, I think right now, like 10% of the games that are on Steam support Linux, and I know that they're working on a lot more. Otherwise, just use that really big gaming rig that you have to actually play the game and just stream it.
Stream it, which we talked about last week.
Right.
Every time they make an announcement about the Steam machines, it just seems less like a unique item and just more like another PC.
Yeah.
I mean, every single time that they make an announcement, it's just like, oh, there's 4 of them. Oh, and it's like 2,000.
No, there's like 14 of them.
Yeah, now there's the top one is like $3,000, you know, and it's like, and they're not all the same spec. Oh, and now it's not gonna have a unique controller, and it's also gonna run games. Oh, and your Steam machine can also run Word. You know,
Do your spreadsheets and your office work.
we're gonna have a portable version that sits on your lap.
I can't wait for Office on my Xbox One. Like, where does it end? It's crazy.
It'd be really funny when somebody takes a Steam machine like day one and like a Ben Heckendorn like finds a way to embed a screen on it and make a mobile version of it, which is
I'm
basically
sorry,
just a
Schmorgan
laptop.
Heckengarf?
No, Ben Heckendorn. He's a guy who does like PC mods. He's like one of the guys who like will
made
take
a-
a Nintendo 64 and make it a handheld unit with a cartridge stuck
He
in
also
top.
made wireless Dukes that work with the Xbox 360.
That's awesome. They did announce
Which, by the way,
that
the thing I described that you now sell in stores. It was pretty cool when he did it at the time, though.
Yeah.
Like
The-
gold nine,
the
portable
N64?
gold nine. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw some pictures of that on the internet. It was rad.
That's pretty cool.
Play some Mario Kart.
One of the earliest pictures I have of Gus when we first started working together is he got a Game Boy Advance, and it didn't have
the SP or just
The
the
Game
Advance,
Boy
the
Advance.
wide
white
one. Okay.
Game Boy
Yeah.
Advance, and it had no backlight or front light, and so he bought a modding kit
The Afterburner.
to add a front light to it, like
The ones
underneath
where you
the
have
screen.
to get in it.
Yep.
He had to open the case up and like
Oh my God.
line the screen.
Yeah,
with
you have
an
to like
LED.
solder. You use like a series of lights you put around the screen, and then you had to like solder it to the PCB in order
You
to
solder it yourself.
Yeah, so it could draw power.
Impressive, right?
Yeah,
This is the last
very.
time
That's
I saw him
dedication.
do anything
Yeah.
on this level.
And you had to buy a special screwdriver that fit triangle heads in order to open up the Game Boy.
Yeah.
Wow. Didn't they sell things that would just like have a light that would like come over the top and
Yeah, but
That's
then
not cool.
it would reflect. You know,
Oh.
you had like that one spot that you couldn't see.
Right.
This like was
well,
variable.
soldering it sounds like a much
Variable
more
intensity.
convenient solution.
It was a one-time thing, and then it was awesome. I mean,
I
like,
think it was. It was so long ago. I don't think it was an LED light. I'm pretty sure it was a fluorescent light.
I
that
think
was
it
in
might
there
have been.
that would click on. No, it was a while ago. And
it was cool when you did it.
What was a single Game Boy Advance game that you remember playing?
Advance Wars.
Advance Wars.
Golden Sun.
I also played Final Fantasy Tactics, I think.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah.
My
and,
first,
Tactics Ogre.
I ended up getting the
Lot of tactics games.
you know,
Lot of
they
turn-based
released oh my god.
I do that all the time. Oh, your laptop. Lift it up.
Party Foul.
It's up.
I did that the other day when we were
It's
at a
up.
restaurant.
It's all right. We're okay.
Yeah,
I spilled my
use
drink,
some,
everybody. This is a
some paper
live
towels.
event. Everyone is scrambling off
We're
screen. You
all,
can't see
friend-
it right
we're
now.
all friends. We don't need to get that animated and that upset with each other.
Okay. All right.
So
I did a thing when I spilled a drink for those of you listening to the
Here, toss
podcast.
it out.
You can throw it here. Thanks, guys.
where's that?
Yeah. We got
Just gonna get swole,
someone
do
give
my
you
lifting.
a nice microfiber cloth. Here, want this for your
All right.
laptop? Here, go ahead.
Thanks.
In other news, I'm just gonna talk while you guys are sopping that stuff up.
Sorry, guys. This will all be
Did you
edited out.
see
We'll
the
look
trailer
professional later.
for the State of Decay Lifeline DLC?
No, I saw this at PAX East though.
Yeah, I heard about it, and it's coming out this week. Actually, I think they said they're shooting for the 30th.
I did not see this, but let me see if it's what I remember. It's a military-based one.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're
and
basically playing as a soldier.
a group of soldiers. Yes. Well, I guess you would. But I was not really excited about a DLC for State of Decay until I watched the trailer. This was an effective trailer. Like I watched it and I thought, oh yeah, I liked that game. I want to play that game again.
Those guys seem really nice, and I stopped and talked to them and talked about how much we really enjoyed the game, and they were like super appreciative. It's one of those things where it's almost like I wonder if they knew how beloved their game was on the 360.
It didn't seem like they realized.
It didn't, right? Or maybe they're just super humble guys. Yeah, they were great. It's Undead Labs, right?
Right.
Yeah, and they were they purchased by Microsoft, or they just do like a multi-title deal with Microsoft?
I think that's what it was.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm super excited. It's one of the games that I think was a standout hit right at the end of the 360's exclusive Xbox life cycle. You know, I know it's
Yeah.
not. People still have it and play it, but, you know, right before the one came out. I think it was one of the big hits of last year, and I really love State of Decay.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Felt remarkably unfinished, though, I have to say.
Yeah, and it ends abruptly.
Dude, it ends like mid-sentence. It was interesting. It's I don't think we're gonna give away any spoilers, but you're in the middle of doing something, and it's like, hey, you did it, and then
just credits.
cut to black.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh wow, it's almost like going back to the old Nintendo days of like you are winner, you know, and that kind of thing, where it's like, well, that was a little anticlimactic.
Yep.
But the game, the journey to get there was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It reminded me of a young Assassin's Creed 4.
Back in the day when Assassin's Creed 4 was Assassin's Creed 4 Junior.
I'm down to legendary ships, by the way, and I just want to say to the developers of Assassin's Creed 4, go fuck yourselves. Those ships are fucking hard.
I guess Goat Simulator is getting a patch coming out here pretty soon.
Whoa.
They're going to upgrade to
Why
patch
did we lead with
1.1.
that? What?
And
we buried that one
it's
to the
gonna
30th minute?
It's 30th shit.
Wow,
it's like
55th.
40th. One of the modes you'll be able to enable like a Minecraft mode, which they've only released a few screenshots. They haven't really elaborated on what that means, but it's like you get like Minecraft blocks in the world.
blocky
It's
mode.
kind of blocky.
Yeah.
But the game designer had a great quote about it. What's his name? Armin Ibrazgic. His quote was, "Now you'll be able to play the world's most popular game inside the world's best game."
Wow. Does it even Minecraft the goat?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I'm really curious.
I like this guy.
I think this patch 1.1 comes out in the first week of June, so we should see it the next 2 weeks or so.
I hope that Mojang is working on a goat for Minecraft right now based on that. That'd be awesome.
yes,
Goat pack
please.
for Minecraft.
Just like a goat, just added in a future update.
What do you think? What would the goat give you? in Minecraft. You know,
Attitude.
You get milk.
Headbutts.
I can't tell you how aggravated that I get that there's no food that comes from sheep. All you can get is wool, and then if you kill them, you get like wool one time, and that's it. It always bothered me that sheep
That
produce
you don't
no
get
meat.
lamb chops or something.
Yeah, like a little bit of mutton, maybe. Seems legit.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
You should be able to eat something out of there. But speaking of Minecraft, they have didn't their Halo pack come out today?
Yeah, Halo Mashup Pack.
And Microsoft also confirmed today that it will work on Xbox One.
That's great. So as part of this pack, not only do you get additional skins like the Arbiter and things like that, but you also get remakes of classic Halo maps, like worlds
Blood
that you can explore inside of.
Like Blood
Minecraft.
Gulch, for a matter of fact.
Yeah, I forget what the exact list is, but I know
Wink.
Blood Gulch is on there.
Classic
Wink.
map. Classic map.
Yeah.
Lovely. So one of the things I liked about the announcements recently for Minecraft that were made was that the PS4 version and the Xbox One version of Minecraft are both coming out in August. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was really cool the fact that they're going to offer, if you've already bought the game, they're going to, the slightly improved editions of Minecraft are coming for Xbox One,
Oh,
PS4.
those guys. They're so cheeky.
Yeah. Xbox One, when you read it, does really read like Xbone.
Xbone, yeah.
It really does. Oh, that's how they spelled it. Xbone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the official name. They spelled it Xbone. But the nice thing about it is there's an upgrade price. So if you have it on the 360,
Oh, I didn't
when
know
you
that.
get it for the one, or if you get it if you have PS3 and you get it for the PS4, it's $5.
Oh.
$5.99.
I will absolutely buy that.
Yeah,
it's a little bit tricky. So if you have the disc-based version, Microsoft said that if you have the disc-based version and you've played online on the 360, then you can get the upgrade price. Mojang's still working with Sony to try and figure out how to do that because the PS3 version just came out on disc.
Right.
But they don't know how to get that to be able to upgrade.
You play. That's my recommendation.
What about people like me who purchased the digital version?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's totally fine. And then for the PS3, they're also coming out with the Vita version in August. And if you buy the PS3 plus Vita version, you can also upgrade to PS4 for $5.
And if you got the PS3 version already, you get the PS3 Vita version,
for free.
Oh.
Is you sure it's
it's
August?
cross-buy.
It's
Yeah,
August?
it's August.
No, not sure about August for. I'm not sure about August for the Vita version. I'm
No, it is.
I'm pretty sure.
It is.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was on that
But
screenshot we just showed.
PS3
It said
plus
Xbox
Vita.
One,
It was
PS4 Vita.
it was part of that update. Though I'll look it up here. The information was part of that update, but we're just trying to find the actual release date.
I believe it's August 4th.
The what you won't be able to do with the cross-buy though is like you can't move your saves between Vita and PS4. You can move between Vita and PS3, but not Vita and PS4. If that makes any sense. So
Okay.
while you can upgrade to PS4, it's not going to interact with. It won't interact with the Vita version.
Okay.
As far as we know for now. Maybe that might be something that changes later or not, or they'll announce something.
Yeah.
But for now, that's sort of the way they're doing it.
It is August. A new version of the game for the PlayStation Vita is also being released. Minecraft fans will be able to pick up each game in August for around $19.99. Unless you have the previous version, upgrade price is $4.99.
Yeah,
That's according to NBC News.
As far as I know, they
The source
haven't-
for video game news.
Well, it's just probably just a repost of the press
Yeah.
release.
Probably. They have. I don't know that they've announced the exact day. I think they might have just said August.
Okay. I'm probably just pulling the 4th out of my ass. So
2005. That's when Minecraft will be released.
the Order 1886
Sorry.
unsurprisingly
I'm having a bad day.
yeah, you're a fucking mess now that we're available to the public. The Order 1886 unsurprisingly delayed till 2015.
And the Evil Within also got delayed.
The Evil Within also delayed. Yeah. The Order 1886 is definitely the standout game I was probably most looking forward to that's an exclusive on the PS4.
It looks really cool.
Yeah,
I am looking forward to it. I'm sad that it's been delayed. But maybe it'll make it better, and that's good.
Yeah, of course. And it seems like nowadays every game that gets
We're
announced,
watching a clip of it right now on screen. Gus is looking down in his own lap.
every game that gets announced just gets delayed eventually. It's like I don't know why they set release dates so far in advance.
It's true. It's like this one, like the Battle Cry. They go, we'll have a beta in 2015. We go, we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
We'll see when we get there.
Yeah.
Or it'll be like December 31st. The beta will go live. Like we told you.
Yeah.
You know, that when we just showed the clip of Order 1886, I'm actually not overly familiar with that title, but just seeing the clip that we just watched on screen right now, it reminded me and got me re-excited about Shadow of Mordor, which is the Assassin's Creed style open world Lord of the Rings game,
Right.
Which has that Nemesis system in it where it customizes the villains.
So they remember you?
Oh, it's just replayable, yeah. Where it's like every time when you go through it, the bosses are slightly different. which, I don't know how much those huge open world games, those are the games I tend to replay the least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too, I
I
think.
play through them and I'll play it and I'll play it and I'll play it. I'll play it to completion. I'll be the leader of every faction, even though I don't think you should be able to be a leader of both the Thieves Guild and like the mercenaries and the mages, but separate issue. And then I just go, I completed it. I'm done.
It's
done,
literally
that's it.
like this. Done. 100% out. I did that with GTA, Red Dead Redemption, the Assassin's Creed games. It's like 100% means I'm done.
Yeah, if
I'm
I can complete it, then I'm going to complete it in one playthrough.
Okay. That's fair enough. I can see that.
But there's a game that I've just started
dude.
playing that is I haven't replayed it yet, but I've been talking to people who've played it like 3 or 4 times already, and that's Transistor. It came out last week.
Right.
Uh-oh, you two are going to hear. I should just step away.
I liked the game. I felt like the art style was great.
So good.
The
The
music was
music is
really
amazing.
good. Combat got a little repetitive after a while.
Well, I was a big fan of Bastion, so they had me at the music and they had me at the art because it looks super cool. And right now, I'm progressing through it more than anything to find out what the hell is going on.
Okay, now assume that most people are like me. I have not played this game.
Okay.
I've heard people talk about it a little bit on social media. What is it?
It's kind of it's an indie game that's made by Supergiant Games, who made Bastion. It's an isometric view action game. I don't know that I'd call it an RPG. You do equip different abilities and you do level up.
And you can chain your abilities.
You can chain
it has
your
RPG
abilities
elements.
with RPG elements, and it's almost like
It's also
it's almost like technical fantasy, like or digital fantasy or something, in that you have this giant sword, but it's also maybe a microchip, and the enemies are called things like processes, and your powers are functions.
yeah, your attacks are structured as functions, and you can chain them together.
So you might live in a digital city. I'm not sure yet. You live in a city. I'm not sure. It seems like it might be digital, and you're a singer, but you don't have a voice anymore, but you have this big sword that can talk to you.
And you actually said that you were complaining you couldn't get a bottle opener that was like
A bottle opener?
No, what was
Blasphemy. A USB memory stick.
it? A
that
USB
would
memory
be
stick.
cool.
Right, because that sword in the game even has like the 4 USB pins on the end of it.
Totally
So I was
does.
like, after I was done with the game, I was like, I want to buy this as a USB memory stick. So I went to the Supergiant website. I was like, I can't believe they weren't like, we should make this.
Hey, Supergiant,
head of their merch.
Supergiant
Yeah.
will give you that one for free.
Yeah,
Come on.
Make a USB
Come on.
stick.
Just send me
USB
one.
sticks.
So obviously you like the game
was-
if
it
you're
was a good
going
game.
out trying to
No,
find a
yeah.
USB stick based on the sword in the game.
The
fan.
combat in it is interesting because it's sort of real time in that the actions that you do take place in real time, but then you can also
It's-
sort of pause it and go in and set up
It's like-
a chain of moves.
It's similar to VATS
Yeah.
in Fallout 3.
Okay. So you don't have to use it, but you're probably going to use it.
Yeah, you don't have to use it, but,
But
you're
you
going to
have
get your
to
ass
use
kicked.
it.
Yeah. But you have to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The VATS was the thing in a video game that I missed somehow in the tutorial. It brought me to the tutorial. I'm like, what is this? I'm skipping this and left because I didn't know that was a big part of the Fallout 3 system. I literally played about 20 hours, I think, of the game without using VATS. So that was pretty dumb of me.
Yeah.
I got a lot better at the game after I discovered how to use VATS.
Of course.
There are some interesting things in that. So you get these abilities. I think right now I've got like maybe 10 unlocked, and then you have like maybe 5 slots. I think it increases as you go, where you can put abilities, but then you can also take abilities that you don't have equipped and put them in like as sub abilities underneath those, and they change the way each ability functions.
Right. So then there's even another layer above that as well, where you can equip them as passive abilities, where they just have a passive effect that's constantly
Well, I haven't
going
unlocked
on.
the passive ones yet.
Yeah. So eventually
Well,
you'll get to the point where you can have, I believe, up to 4 passive abilities, 4 active abilities, and then 4 augment ability, 2 augment abilities per active ability.
But then you can't actually have all of them equipped because you have a certain amount of overhead in each ability that you equip in a different way.
It takes
up
memory.
this much of your memory. And so you have to like pick and choose, be like, oh, well, this one is like super powerful, but I can't take this one right now because that would put me over my limit. Really complex. I have no idea what I'm doing at all. I think that I'm probably really, really bad at it.
No, it took me a while as well. Like, there's really no explanation for a lot of the systems. And normally I hate that, but it was really kind of charming in this game. I think I probably played for 2 or 3 hours before I finally figured out, like, oh, these augment that. This makes the game harder, like, because there's also limiters.
Yeah.
Which are there and increase the difficulty, but then you get more XP.
Admit you like this game. I don't know why
No, it's a good game. Just I feel like the enemies are repetitive. Then after a while, the combat's just kind of the same thing.
You go from smiling, talking about the game, and then I ask you what you thought about it. You go, no, I'm very serious about it.
No. It's a good game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Just
There's a thing, and you do this, and you do that. Do you like it? Oh, it's okay.
I like the music of the game so much that all day I went to their website and found out that you can stream the soundtrack. So I've just been like camping on their website, streaming the soundtrack all day, going. And then I get like vaguely stressed out because it's game music and sometimes it's combat, and I get that sort of muscle memory where I'm just like, what am I freaked out about? Oh, that's right, it's probably combat music. But it's so good.
Have that. I can't stand that when I hear music and it gets me tense, and I didn't realize like it's just cues basically from when I played the game for hours on end.
There's this site called I think it's rpgamer.net, and then it's like rpgamer.net/radio, and you can go to, and it's just like a digital radio station that streams music from games. That's all it does. It's great. I would sit there and I would listen to it all the time because it'll have a lot of music that I like from games that I haven't necessarily played. And then it'll kick into something that's super familiar and really nostalgic. And then I'll forget about it, and then I get really stressed out and I just start freaking out and I don't know why. And then I'm going, oh yeah, I spent, an hour and a half trying to beat this boss.
And I tell you what, something fun we did is you and I took a road trip, and we were on the road trip like in the American Southwest, like driving through Arizona and canyons and stuff. And we played the Red Dead Redemption soundtrack the entire time. It was awesome.
It was really fitting.
Yeah.
It's a good way to approach a road trip.
It was cool.
Like plan all of your music listening to like different geographic areas. Like if you drive through Vegas, have like the New Vegas song.
Oh yeah, it was so well suited. I had a lot of fun.
I think New Vegas was one of the things we played actually, because we
we'd
ran out of Red
and
Dead
then we'd be
songs.
like, what else is from the this worked out so well? What else takes place in the
Dude,
desert?
video game
it's nice.
soundtracks are a good deal.
Really
for
good.
digital music. I never. She had a bunch of them. I had never bought one before. I think I got one as a code when I download or when I bought a collector's edition or something or pre-ordered. But you get typically between 28 and 40 songs for the cost of a low-priced album.
I mean, keeping in mind that some of them are quite short because it's like so and so's intro, and you're like, here's a 30-second track.
Yeah.
But overall, they're really good and they're really high quality. I don't think a lot of people understand, or I'm sure they understand, but don't necessarily appreciate just how good game music can be.
It's a good Kickstarter reward. I see that's commonly used. It's a good incentive.
You get a soundtrack.
So we're pretty much at time.
Do you want to do a quick lightning round?
A couple of things I did want to
Lightning
mention
round.
real fast. So I guess Duncan Jones announced that filming on the Warcraft movie is complete.
I think that could possibly start the era of good video game movies. I'm very excited
We'll
about
see. March 2016 release date. They got 2 years for post,
it.
essentially.
Duncan Jones, who is he? Do you know who he is?
David Bowie's son.
David Boy's son. He directed the movie Moon.
Yes. A very good movie. I also wanted
Also
to
the
mention
prequel to Oblivion.
that Papers, Please...
Spiritual
the
prequel?
Spiritual.
Lightning round. The creator of Papers, Please announced his next game. It's a 1-bit mystery called The Return of the Obra Dinn.
What is
What
a
is
1
that?
bit?
How do you have a 1-bit mystery?
He's going to use 1-bit graphics rendering. It's just black and white.
It's text.
It's black and white.
It's gonna be
like-
Zork.
Yeah, it's
All right.
it's crazy. Half of PS4 owners have PlayStation Plus,
Yes.
according
Not
to Sony.
That's good.
Sony's done a really good job with that. And like
Lots of value.
lots of value, all the free games, all that sort of stuff.
There's also, we're going to put this in the patch notes, so we don't have time to really get into it. Left 4 Dead has been ported for arcades in Japan,
I want this in the U.S.
and there's a trailer for it. The characters are different. We'll list it in the patch notes. You can check it out. It's really, really interesting.
That bums me out that's not in the
You get
U.S.
Schoolgirl.
Evolve coming out November.
There's no controllers for it, though.
And Star Citizen has reached $44 million in crowdfunding.
That's
Get
not even
the fuck outta
That's
here.
not even news at this point.
I feel like we
every
always have to
time
mention
someone
it.
says they've reached this, and I'm like, look, there's only so many times this is news. They've gone beyond anything ever.
Also, they released a narrated gameplay version of the Borderlands pre-sequel. That's basically what we saw at PAX East.
Yeah, so
that's what they were
it's-
showing at PAX East. If you're
Yeah,
interested,
it's a 15-minute long
It's
video.
really good. It's cool. It really shows off what makes the game different from previous Borderlands titles.
shows low grav, shows oxygen, and the mechanics thereof.
Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Next Monday, we'll be back with RT Podcast for our sponsors on roosterteeth.com. And next Wednesday, we'll be streaming again for sponsors on the patch. If you're interested, check it out at roosterteeth.com. Thanks for watching, everyone.
And next week we'll get back to the gossip. And
Bye.
news.